Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to do another collective and timeless reading to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to deliver to us as a message today. And with us, we have our owl totem to be with us in this reading, so maybe owls have a special significance for you. And we also have this piece of raw angelite and this selenite tower to be with us in this reading. Both these crystals have a connection to the etheric realms. Selenite connects us to our higher selves, and angelite, as the name implies, connects us with the angelic realms. So there might be something with you that needs to connect right now to those higher realms, those higher beings for guidance, protection, maybe even just comfort. But those are going to be with us in this reading now. I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy. Seems to be a little raspy these days. No, let's just get right into it. I'm already getting a lot of cards. Holy moly. But this is the card here. Wedding. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to get one card from our angels and one card from Moonology. Sorry if I'm a little off today. I'm not feeling the best. Let's just see what our reading is doing today. What does this collective need to hear from their ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels right now? A new start is coming. Wow. So there literally could be some kind of wedding coming on here, or just a marriage to something new. Like a marriage is a contract, right? So there could be a new start coming for you in some form that could be about business. It could be a business contract, like when we meet together with someone and we form a business with them, sometimes that's a sort of marriage, right? So it could refer to either one of those things, but a wedding can also refer to, if we're thinking in the mindset of contracts, this could be to do with your own contract with yourself. Maybe starting a new life contract, ending an old chapter and beginning a new one. Maybe one where you are married to your whole being. You see that trend of people marrying themselves, which is sort of this idea of making a commitment to yourself and to loving yourself. This could be what it refers to in this case. But let's get some tarot cards first. We'll take some from our Stranger Things deck. I like the energy of this, though. This is very exciting energy. Maybe a little apprehensive for you now. So that might be something that you're wrestling with. But I think we have some planetary movements going on as well. There's going to be a movement of Uranus into Gemini, which might start a new cycle for a lot of people, depending on where Gemini is in your chart. So what messages does this collective need right now? Seven of Spokes, which is the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so there might be a lot of potential right now for you with this new start, and it might, there might be a lot of ideas of where you can go, what you can do. Ace of Scoops. Yeah, could be a new business opportunity with Ace of Scoops here, which is the Ace of Pentacles. So something new is being offered to you big time. And the opportunity might be to just choose what you want, which, there's a lot of potential there. The Hermit, yeah. So you've gone on a spiritual journey here to find what it is that you truly are seeking in life. And that's led you to this point where you're beginning this new chapter, deciding the old is done. I'm ready for something new, something better. And then we have the Six of Dice, which is the Six of Swords. So you've learned the old karmic lessons. Here there be monsters is what the flag there, the red flag. And a red flag in and of itself is like, when we say people have a red flag, right? Maybe your journey was to learn to see people's red flags, right? Because I get the sense this is what you're leaving behind. So maybe you went on a journey to understand people truthfully and honestly and see people's red flags without, because sometimes we like to always see the best in people. But that's not always a good thing, especially, if they take advantage of us or they hurt us in some way or they, misguide us or lead us on a different path that we're not meant to be on. And maybe you had to go into isolation like 11 here. She's literally floating in the water, like surrendering to the universe, being in that hermit energy, right? The hermit is isolated and alone, but that aloneness allows them to gain new insights, to go to a higher realm, because they're not surrounded by distractions and things that can lead them astray. Now you understand that that place you left was for a reason. You left it for a reason. There's old energy there. There's old red flags there, and there's a helicopter flying overhead outside my window. Interesting. Yeah, a helicopter is like something monitoring you, right? So maybe someone was really keeping a close eye on you, watching you. There's this also this crow that's watching me outside. It's kind of unnerving. He's watching the whole reading. It's a little much. So maybe you've actually had some, encounters with, actual monsters, people that are not good souls. I mean, all souls are on a journey and we're all meant to evolve in certain ways and we all make certain choices coming here, right? But, some of us, we pick a path that isn't great. We can, everything is kind of decided beforehand, right? So we all kind of play roles, right? With the bad guy and the good guy and, the hero and the anti-hero. But I get the sense that you're a hero figure. You're someone that's rising above the challenges that have been placed in front of you that were really unfair. Like you had to fight really scary monsters, like Will, he goes into the upside down and he has to face a lot of struggle on his own, right? And same with 11. She has to also face, yeah, like in the show, she has to face a lot of, real life monsters, not just like monsters, like the actual monsters in the upside down, but also people that are basically monsters, right? And sometimes those are the scarier monsters, are the people that, manipulate and hurt her. And but she also has this struggle where she's like the monster, right? Because of everything that's happened to her and how she's dealt with it. I'm really resonating now with 11 and her struggle, right? I don't know if you've watched that show, but like 11 goes through it and she's psychic, right? She's super psychic, but it isolates her. It makes her feel like she's, at one point she questions, if am I a monster because I'm not like other people. And I also have this rage inside me that, comes out in these moments, and she struggles socially a lot, especially in the later seasons, and she kind of realizes that she's different, right? Whew. There's a lot coming in here. But I think this is the Six of Swords, right? And the Six of Swords is all about movement away from something. You've learned the lessons of a journey, of a chapter, and you're moving on to the next thing that you're ready for. Taking those lessons with you, even if they were painful, because they're part of what you needed to learn. Maybe you went through some social struggles, or you had, some really bad relationships or bad family relationships that, or just friendships that betrayed you, or, all the worst kinds of things I think happened to you. And it really made you question, really made you had to go into this deep place, this dark cave, this place of isolation to really find out, who am I in this? Who do I want to be? How do I want to move forward from this? And that's been, a beautiful journey in a way, even if it was a struggle, even if it was super painful. Because now you're ready to move on to something new. You're ready to emerge like the butterfly out of the cocoon and take a different turn, like do a pivot, go somewhere different. And I get the sense that life's going to be a lot better for you. You have those dreamy clouds with new inspirations. And there's this Ace of Scoops, a new opportunity coming in, an opportunity for happiness, a big sprinkly ice cream, like, tasting the sweetness of life. I feel like you're going to get that chance now. And this could literally be a partnership. Like maybe you'll meet someone that's really sweet and kind and shows you what love really is and shows you what love can be. It's a new moon, right? A whole new start. And even if this is just about like career, like maybe you had a job where you were with a lot of like really nasty coworkers, really mean people that kind of sabotaged you or blackmailed you or made you feel like outcasted, something like that. Like maybe it's forced you into this position where you're moving into something that you truly want, and it's going to be better than you ever expected. Yeah, I'm going to get a couple animal cards here as well. Yeah, this is a beautiful reading. I sense a lot of pain with this person who's gone through this. Wow. Trust in the invisible. Snail. Snail and Huckleberry. Thinking Huckleberry Finn now. Doesn't Huckleberry, what is it, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn? They go off on a journey, don't they? And they kind of are running away from abusive situations, aren't they? And they get on a raft and they go, don't they? I actually haven't read that book, even though it's a classic. But I know the story goes something like that, where they just kind of set off, right? And it says trust in the invisible. So maybe there's an invisible thread or trail that you're following that no one else can see, and you don't know where it's going to lead you, but you feel that you strongly have to go in this direction, and you're listening to yourself. You're listening to your guidance, to your spirit guides and to your angels, and letting them take you on this journey. But most of all, trusting your own intuition, trusting yourself to make that journey, to decide where you want to go and where you want to be. Yeah, because I think this phase of the hermit here with 11 was really discovering your true powers and understanding that you're different and that's okay. And that the people that you felt outcasted from, or you felt like you didn't fit in with, or you didn't understand why they hurt you, it was because you were never meant to belong there. They were monsters. You're not a monster. And that's something 11 kind of has to figure out on her own too, right? Like she has to figure out that she's not a monster. She's been around monsters. But there's also something about, I think, her being a kind of a superhero too, right? Like there's that idea in it as well. Like I think the boys, they call her, like, say like, oh, it's like you're Professor X, like you're like an X-Men. And there's some truth in that. Like we can all be monsters or we can all be heroes depending on our choices, right? We're allowed to choose. The possum and peony bashfulness. So funny. I just think opossums are funny in general. Their mouths are always open, you know. But yeah, bashfulness, I think, is like referring to the fact that, you know, you've been in that hermit phase for so long that maybe you're a little shy to come out and show your true self, show this new you that's emerging, that's forming now. Yeah, like this might be part of the struggle for you right now, is that you still want to hide. You're still used to hiding. Maybe you're used to being that person that doesn't talk or doesn't form friendships with other people, or, you know, wants to hide in your house all day and never see anybody, which is okay. I mean, I get it. But maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to move on to something new, right? Because maybe you've already, I think the whole lesson of this with the red flags, right, is understanding. That's why the flags are there, right? You've marked the spot where there's monsters, so you know where there isn't monsters. And that was the whole point of the lesson, was to learn what to look for in people, what signs to see in people that show that they don't have your best interest at heart, right? I think that was an important lesson for you to learn right now, because you're going to go into a new phase in your life where it's going to be really important that the people around you are good people that support you, people that are right for you. Because, you know, you might be very successful, you might be creating a really good life, and the universe didn't want you to have these people, you know, like these these monsters in hiding, or these wolves in sheep's clothing hiding there behind your back ready to stab you. Like, your new life couldn't come in with those people around. That's what I'm getting. get a couple crystal cards here. I think this person, whoever you are watching this reading, you've been through a really painful journey, but it's going to come to an end soon. It's going to come to a better time. Dalmatian stone. Okay. Number 19, that's the number of the sun card. So, you know, turn your face towards the sun and there's going to be, you know, that's what you're going to see. Your face is going to be lit up by the sun, and your shadows will fall behind you, right? Let's just take a look at Dalmatian stone here. Yeah, playfulness, childlike joy, and enthusiasm of life, absurdity, humor, and laughter. That's exactly like the sun card, actually, because the sun card has a little child on a horse, and they're laughing and they're playing, and they're just in their joy. And that card is all about joy, and so is this card, really. And it's mainly about like not taking life so seriously. Yeah, just to like embrace absurdity. That's what it is. Yeah, like accept the world as it is and learn to be joyful anyway. Is sort of the idea of this card. So it might be that you're merging back into the world, and none of that's changed, but you've changed quite a lot. You've changed internally. And you're not going to allow the same things to bother you in the way that they did. You're not going to allow them to steal your happiness because you realize how precious that is. Yeah, like it's like transforming your story, turning it, you know how sometimes we go through a bad time, but then later on it becomes a funny story? It's sort of like that, where you have a funny, you know, you take a different perspective on life once you reach another phase and you decide, you know, I'm not going to let that old story burden me. And maybe that's what this is about as well, letting go of the old stories of the past and letting them be something new, transmuting them into something different. And maybe even transmuting them into something you can use, like, you know, letting it influence your art, or letting yourself and whatever that may be. Maybe you write, maybe you paint, maybe you create music, maybe you're going to do something with those old stories of the past and transform them into something. Yeah, it's calling for playfulness and joy in your life. Let's get another card, actually. And maybe that's what the wedding too is about. It's like marriage to your old self that was, you know, when you think back to when we're a child and we're playful and we're innocent, right? Maybe this is about reclaiming your innocence. Wow. Aqua Aura Quartz. That's one I don't get very often. Number 6. I think number 6 is the number of the Lovers card. Interesting. This is really, the aqua color is really coming through here, eh? Even in the background of the wedding. So blue might be a significant color for you, something to watch out for. If you see blue, that might be a sign for you. Yeah. Aqua. Aqua is like, you know, the ocean, right? The water. And she's floating in the water too. So there's, you know, emotions are involved here. It's like diving deep into those emotions and really feeling them. Yeah, connecting to the infinite, connecting to your infinite potential is what this card is about. A renewed sense of purpose, wonder, and awe. That really goes well with Dalmatian stone, doesn't it? Because it's about seeing the world anew. It's about looking at it with different eyes, different perspectives, and almost seeing it with fresh eyes, right? So it's like, you know, I think I talked about this movie a couple readings ago, but that movie, Pixar movie Soul, it's a really great movie. It's really underrated. I don't know why more people haven't talked about it, but I watched it recently for the first time, and I really loved it. But the character in that movie, he goes through, I guess, a near-death experience, and he comes out of it with a really changed perspective on life. And I think that's something that we all could benefit from. What would we do if we knew we were going to die tomorrow? Or like, what would we do if we, we got a second chance and we could do whatever we wanted, right? Maybe you're going through a moment in that your life where maybe it feels like there's chaos. Maybe there's been a tower moment and everything is collapsed around you, everything's ended. But yet you could look at that as this is your chance to create a whole new life. This is a whole new start, a fresh start for you. Yeah, maybe that's why you got to trust the invisible, because there is a lot of doubt coming out for you, but you're ready. You're ready to be seen. You don't need to be bashful. Well, you might be bashful anyway. It might just be your nature, but like, you don't need to worry because there's something invisible on your side. They created this scenario for you. They brought you to this point so that you could experience a renewal, experience a change of heart, experience a new awakening to your life and to how you move through your day to day, how you move through this life, and how you interact with others. It's sort of like, just waking up and realizing, wow, life is kind of magical. There's all these things that shouldn't be here under normal circumstances, like in terms of like chance and probability, but yet they are. What are the chances that I would meet certain people in certain towns? Or what are the chances that like I would meet this person here, like, or see this bird here? Like there's all kinds of little miracles that happen in everyday life that we kind of dismiss, or we don't take note of them in the way that we should. But it's kind of reminding you that life is awe-inspiring. There's miracles happening every day that are magical, that are wondrous, that are kind of amazing. And I know it's hard when you're in a bad place to think that way or to feel that way. But gratefulness helps a lot with that. Sitting around and thinking, what do I have that I actually am really grateful for? And what things in my life are kind of miraculous that they're there to help me, that they're there to be with me. It could be, certain supportive people in our lives, maybe just that we have even just food and shelter, so not everybody has that, or just access to water, or that we have access to certain things where we can teach ourselves, like access to information, for example. Like if you have a computer and you have the internet, there's infinite potential for what you can learn from there. Yeah, it's basically aqua aura quartz, tells you to turn away from cynicism and worry and open your heart to the wonder that is your life, right? Like how much of a miracle is it that we're all just here together? See the magic of your life, see the magic that's all around you. I'm just going to get a couple more tarot cards here. Maybe we can get an idea of what's coming in for them. And what's this new start going to be like? Where is this new start going to be taking them? Seven of Scoops. Seven of Pentacles. It's a pretty stacked ice cream. And the Hanged Man. Okay. So I think the idea is that you're going to be really assessing what you want to do in life and deciding to surrender to that. Like not hold yourself not back, not give in to fear. Just decide that, whatever happens, I am just going to surrender. And I think it's funny how we have the possum here who's hanging by his tail, and then we have the hangman. So I think there's something about just letting yourself fall into this. Even 11, she's floating. She's kind of surrendering to the water around her and let her float, And I think there's some analogy to that with you and the universe, like letting the universe hold you and support you in this moment and see what it can show you about what's going to happen in your life when you just trust, when you give in to your desires for what you truly want, where you truly want to be, where you want to go. Because maybe you've been in a place where you just don't want to be anymore, and you can't deny that anymore. You can't ignore that call to something greater for you anymore. Like the Seven of Scoops here, it's like You're really looking at your life and your life's work and deciding, is this what I want or do I want something different? You're looking back and you're assessing. You're deciding where you're going to go, what's the next step. But you're going to make a choice that's from your heart this time. You're going to make a choice that's really truly aligned with you. And that's where the surrender comes in. Because it might be something that goes against your logic or, seems risky, but you're going to do it anyway. Okay, I'm going to use this past life deck and just see what cards we can get to let us know where are they headed. What's this new life going to be like for them? Royalty. We have royalty. It's hard because it was kind of between distant relation and loss of title. So maybe there's something like you're going to get your crown back. Yeah, like maybe there's, I don't know, maybe literally you're going to be found to be connected to royalty, but I think it's more that you're going to get your spiritual inheritance back that maybe you've been disconnected from for a long time. City dweller, socialite. So you might be moving to a city, or maybe, but it looks kind of like somewhere in Europe to me. So maybe you're going to find the right city for you. Wealth. Interesting. We had gambling or speculation at the top there. Maybe this will be something to do with, you might win the lottery. I don't want to say definitely, but you might have some luck on your side here with that. Like maybe you're just going to come into some money, maybe even through a relation, maybe through, someone who has like a lot of connections somehow. You're gonna maybe be able to move into a new city, something like that. Maybe you're going to just come into a bunch of money somehow, and there's going to be a trip to Europe. Planner, yeah. Got Rise of Civilization and Planner there on top. So I feel like, maybe even something to do with architecture. Who knows? Maybe you're an architect. But it was planners. So maybe there's something to do with, you're going to build your wealth from, it could literally be city planning, but I feel like where it's Rise of Civilization, like there's something that you're going to do that's going to help elevate society in a way that might be the seed of your wealth. We have Ace of Scoops here, which is Ace of Pentacles. So there's some sort of career or opportunity here that might be coming through for you in that form. But then we have wedding here, and maybe this is to do with, there's some sort of partnership, because we have a lady and a man here walking together. Maybe there is some sort of partnership here between you and someone else. And it's almost like a royal, a divine, something ordained, like a partnership that's ordained. Maybe you're both in past lives or royalty, and there's something about your bloodlines coming together that's really important. And you might be meeting this person in a city, like you're moving to a new city and you're going to meet them there. And they might be the secret to your wealth. Like it might not be that, it could be you marry them and they're wealthy, or you could build your wealth together by making plans together, where we had planner there. Yeah. Something like that. Like you're going to be doing something together to, like all this surrender energy might be like you're moving on to something new. Maybe surrendering to trusting someone, right? Because we had a lot there about, betrayal and having a lot of hurt from past relationships. And bashfulness too. Like maybe that's the struggle you're overcoming is your own bashfulness at being seen in a new relationship or being loved genuinely and honestly. Trust in the invisible. Yeah, like love is invisible, right? I mean, like there's obviously visible evidence of love, but I mean, the actual feeling of love is invisible, right? It's this unseen force. Trust the invisible. So maybe that's the risk here for you, is to trust someone to love you and to guide you into this new life that you're meant for. And there's this whole life waiting for you. If you do trust, if you do surrender and go with the flow and decide to choose love and happiness. And again, you don't have to jump into a relationship you're not ready for. It doesn't feel right. Don't always trust your instincts. Always trust your intuition, right? Because it's going to know way better than, a reading online, right? And this is for many people, so it's going to apply to everybody differently. But I sense that there's something here where you might meet someone and create a whole new life together. And it's almost like a reclaiming of wealth, right? That's like wealth that was always yours, that was like meant for you. It's like your spiritual inheritance. And even, and this could apply to past lives. So maybe in a past life you knew someone that you're going to meet again now. And this was someone you met at the rise of civilization. So around that period of time where things were beginning to, like humanity was beginning to really develop and raise its consciousness. Maybe you were a part of that and you did that with this partner, and you're going to meet again and do that again in this life. And this is going to be a life where you feel very wealthy. And the wealth was also gambling, right? So like that was gambling or speculation. So it was like there's this element of chance to it. So this might be something where this feels like a gamble, but it's going to be a big payoff for you. Yeah. Well, that's really exciting. So I think that the main thing you have to take away from this is to trust and to allow your intuition to speak clearly to you. You have that hermit energy. You have that connection to the beyond, to your own intuition, to your own insights. So listen to it. It's guided you away from the past, which was filled with pain. So trust it again. Don't deny the lessons that you've learned. Trust them. But trust also that there can be new people and new beginnings. Do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy and fills you in that energy of wonder and awe, and you will not be led astray. Okay? All right. I think that's the end of the reading, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for staying to the end. I really appreciate your likes and your comments and your subscribes. They all mean a lot and they really help support this channel. So thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.